cleaned up on their home deck, and now the toughest trip from Brisbane is over to Perth. They still might need to do it in the final round. They are on 14.5 wins, which last year saw them finish 5th, 2 points out of the double chance. 14.5 wins might condemn them to 9th. So they cover the whole span. Home finals, double chance, miss the 8. It's a tough spot to be in.
Snakes and ladder game that you love playing. It is. I've never seen it. I can't remember anything like it where it swings games and not just position inside the 8, but whether or not you're going to contend in final series are at stake. So you can't even lock away Fremantle. You can't lock away Brisbane. No. They play each other this weekend, which is just extraordinary that it's fallen like this. So anyway, let's just get to it. I can't wait for it to start on Friday night.
Yes, yeah. So they're going through the hardest draw we've ever seen.
Yep.
They're double-up games, 5 against top 9
yep.
teams, and the other one was Sydney, who are 10th. So no team's ever been subjected to that. They are in the grip of injury at exactly the wrong time, and I think the telling elements watching on Saturday was 4 of their premiership defenders were missing, and when the Swans got the run on, there was just no connection down back to hold them at bay just for 2 minutes or 4 minutes or 6 minutes. They just leaked goals in that time.
No, and that doesn't help, I know, but I spoke long and hard today with someone who knows this game backwards and inside out, and just said that this Brisbane side this year, more than any other, you can tell really early on where they're at, which is it's not that they pick and choose, it's just that their level of intensity and desire and unconditional attack on the footy and the man with the footy is being determined a little bit by who they're playing over the journey. So Collingwood turn up, bang. I remember vividly down at Geelong, GMHBA Stadium. They turn up, bang. Within a heartbeat, you knew they were on. And yet you come to this game where the season's on the line, top 4, even finals, and very quickly you establish that level of intensity, the unconditional stuff that Chris Fagan demands, wasn't there, Gerard. It wasn't there. And when they get into that mood, they get done, and they get done badly. Against opposition sides, you don't think they will. So their record when they're up and they're on is imposing, but if they're not, it's not. So I can nearly guarantee you what they'll be like on Friday night against Fremantle. And Fremantle will be there forewarned and forearmed, which is why you want to get in front of the TV on Fox Footy and watch this on Friday night, because it is on for all the chips.
Is this the tyranny of being the defending champion?
Yes, it
campaigns that run so long?
Yes, it is. And we'll get to another one who's hit a bit of a brick wall as well. It is a long, long demanding season, Gerard, and back-to-back would have to be one of the hardest things to do. I know it's happened in recent times, but I've never picked a back-to-backer because of the vagaries of a 28-week preparation. And then as you mentioned, that you lose personnel along the way. But this is a mindset thing for this group as much as anything else. They lost by 2 points in the end. They got busy towards the end, but that was a low pressure game from a team that has to play in the red zone.
Their margin for error is now gone.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So they should be in the red zone.
Yeah. What a fascinating case they are. And the other is Collingwood.
Yeah.
So the last 2 champs. There was no effort made by the coach to disguise where Collingwood finds itself, as the full travails, losing 4 out of 5, revealed itself pretty rawly on Thursday night.
Yeah, I apologise to our Magpie Army. That's a disappointing performance. You can't sugarcoat that. We're hurting. That one really hurt.
Caught in a bad romance.
It's a seismic shift in the race for the top 8.
Caught in a bad romance.
Collingwood look really ordinary. They've looked unorganised, back, middle and front.
They look a bit rattled. It's just starting to sort of unravel.
Just a lack of system and then a lack of fight. Sometimes at the same time. We just had some really poor efforts. This is the reality of what we've got right now.
Collingwood now are in a flat spin. Now it's all starting to look a bit broken.
The big alarm bell for me is they started to look fumbly and they started to panic, which means your confidence is shot.
Like I've always said to our players, nothing's permanent. Nothing's permanent. You're 114,000 members, you expect a certain amount of effort, and we didn't have it. So you get disappointed with that. Judge us on our response. That'll create a headline, but yeah, bring it on. We've got to turn up.
Craig McRae's got some serious thinking to do.
And now bound for Adelaide to face the Crows. So after a performance like that, Gaz, there's always two choices. You can minimise, you can deflect, you can disguise, you can insulate, or you can face the full catastrophe.
Yep.
And it was instructive that the coach faced the full catastrophe.
Had no choice in the end, so it's 4 or 5. So you got to own up to it. You got 2 games to get it right, otherwise you're potentially not there at all. This is a fascinating case study because this is a team that lost the first game and then, you know, it either depends what camp you're in. The whole footy world went a bit mad and said this is what happens when you're old. That's not what's going to make the difference after one game of footy, whether you're old. It doesn't matter. Everyone can get through 8 games of footy if they're old. Where it'll get you is now. That's what it is. And I'm not being a revisionist. I'm not, you know...
No, you said judge them in 4 months' time.
Don't judge them on round 1 and say they're old and slow. That's nonsense. But in a 22, 24-week season, the 30-plussers will feel the pinch. And that's fact. That's nothing. You know, no one's ever beaten Father Time. I say it all the time. And it'll get all of these blokes at some stage. And maybe it's just got a hold of a few of them. 4, 5, 2, 3, whatever it is. But this is where it is. So now, you know, 4 from 5... older legs, big campaigns, you're thrown around, then you get injury on top of it, and then you start clutching at straws. All of a sudden, Billy Frampton become David Dench to, you come back and fix us. No, he won't. And now Jeremy Howe's out. Well, no, Jeremy Howe's a really good player, but you've sold system to us all the way through. 1 in, 1 out. We are a system-based footy side. We'll go back to being the system-based footy side. And, you know, then you've got selection integrity around Mitchell, around Ned Long, who is another great example of a player that was up for a long period of time. Fantastic story, but it grinds you down as well, Gerard. So they're not out of it. So the Collingwood fans can, you know, jump onto the us against them and you're calling us old and slow and all that sort of stuff. That is fine. They've just got to get... They're the best pressure team I've seen this year when they're pressuring in the manner that they are. Can they do it again? Or are they too tired? Or are they too beaten up? Are they too worn down? They've got too many other issues at play? I don't know. But they're going over to a joint that is really familiar to them and they love playing at. So, again, how good is that? Yeah. Saturday night against the top of the table.
So the circumstances are perfect. This is where Collingwood thrives best.
Yep.
Circle the wagons, get on the road, into enemy territory. They've won 10 in a row at the ground. They've had it over the Crows. The question is, forward, they are not threatening in the way that they were. The mid, just when they had their older collection in the middle, and you went, oh, we're still relying on that to get it done. For me, it's the defence.
Yes.
And the form of Darcy Moore, which has been, you know, well exposed. But that moment where he tapped the ball, you go, what is that? And then it sort of all flowed from there. What
I've got them all written down.
Most?
I've got written, you know, so Jamie Elliott's not, you know, Jamie Elliott is the All-Australian that we thought he was in there. Then you got Long, Mitchell, Pendlebury, bottom side. He was going to win the Brownlow halfway. You know, all those, they just come off slightly. But I'm also with you because we talked about the backs and how you've got to make them defend laterally last week. We said they're a great straight line. Well, they got outmarked straight line as well. So not only did they get beaten laterally last week, they got beaten down the line. And they're coming up against a side who do down the line better than anyone else with a big monster and a beard. And they do lateral with Rankin and all the others as well as anyone. So the challenge is immense for this footy club. They've risen to it before over in Adelaide and we'll find out whether they can rise to it again at the most important time of the year where the stakes are the highest.
Top 2, top 4 are bound for elimination finals or a must-win game with Melbourne at the end as well.